Hi, my name's Michael Rollo. I'm one of the pastors in Found Church in Larbert in central Scotland, and I'd like to share some things in relation to prayer. I was asked the question how our church started praying together, and I would say before I came, and I've been here for 33 years, there was always a prayer and a Bible study midweek service. We have since added in at different seasons missions prayer, prayer care and share groups, seasonal prayer, and before I actually came to Larbert, in my home church that I grew up in, I used to go to prayer meeting on a Tuesday night. And when I first got saved and was challenged about that, I remember saying to the Lord, it's boring. And I felt the Lord challenge me by saying, well, you put in your input and it'll be less boring. Instead of being a spectator, be a participator. And I was asked the question how our leaders started praying together. When we were meeting in larger premises that we were able to hire for a season, it was an important part of what we did on a Sunday morning was our leaders actually prayed together. And we never have a meeting without actually praying. But currently we've had to move back to our other premises, so there isn't a joint leaders prayer meeting at this moment in time. I was asked the question how we've led times of prayer, things that have worked and things that haven't worked. Well, I've led breakthrough prayer events, encounter nights, half nights of prayer, early morning prayer meetings. We've had seasons of prayer. And what I think is different things work in different seasons. I think it's important to hear from God as to what He wants us to do in our prayer events. So sometimes we've been inspired by a thought. Maybe we've been inspired by a passage of the Bible. Maybe we've had themed prayer meetings like praying for families or praying for marriages, praying for breakthrough. We've prayed through whole books of the Bible, like the book of Ephesians. So there's different things that we've done in different seasons that I have led. And sometimes it works putting people into groups as our prayer meetings have got larger. We've also had to grow smaller at the same time, so we maybe split up the congregation into 4 different groups and have people lead them in 4 different sections, and that has worked quite well for us. I was asked, have there been any encouraging prophetic or outcomes of the prayer times? Yes, there have been different things that have happened at different times, and I was asked about the question specifically in relation to that, in relation to other churches in our area. And I lead a local gathering of evangelical ministers. It's called ELF, Evangelical Leaders Forum. And we meet together once a month in a local hotel, and we meet together for prayer and for encouragement. And there's around 14 ministers meet together, and then we've become recently part of the larger prayer network throughout the nation. And I think that's something that God is calling us to do at this moment in time. And I really think that's one of the most exciting things that's happening in our nation at this time. But our local ministers fraternal, we've actually prayed for events such as the Central Scotland Celebration of Hope by Will Graham about 4 years ago. We met together regularly for prayer in relation to that. Where are we currently in our prayer cycle in church or prayer season? We have a weekly Friday morning Zoom prayer meeting with around 20 plus people. Come to that. We do a little bit of worship, share a message, and then we pray together, usually through topics. We've prayer in our life groups. And every time there's a 5th Wednesday in the month, we do a breakthrough prayer and praise event. And we've encounter evenings, usually on the 2nd Sunday of the month on an evening. And there's an aspect of prayer and releasing the prophetic goes into that. What it looks like for different people in different age groups in our church. Our young people pray, our children pray. And last Sunday we had our 100th anniversary of the church. And with people actually on the platform from all different ages, from young children, young people, singles, middle-aged people and older people, just across the wide spectrum of ages, people with different backgrounds, widows, and just praying into all different situations, and they all read a prayer. And we were privileged to celebrate our 100th year with prayer. Hope that has inspired you and encouraged you. Thank you for taking the time to listen.